2023. I got this chief brand officer position.
Ooh.
That was the pinnacle of success by everyone's definition. We had been grooming me to get to that position.
Lady K had spent years building towards that moment. She had the title, the team, and the track record.
And the co-founders of the company actually came to me and they said, look, we've been wanting to hire you for a while. We waited. It was very exciting for everyone. And then I lasted 10 months in the role and then it was gone.
Very intense.
I finally got to the role that, my boss at Flutterwave was training me for. I just kept thinking, how did I lose this? What actually happened was that my contract was terminated. So I'd come prepared for the meeting. As I was going, speaking.
Mid-sentence.
He just interrupted me and said, Kay, I've decided to terminate your contract.
What the what?
That's exactly how it happened.
All right, cool. We made it happen. Oh, that was a synchronized clap.
We did it together. I love it. I love it.
So we finally did this.
Yes.
God. I don't even know where to start because I've known you forever.
Yes.
And you've just been on so many different journeys.
My goodness.
So many different journeys.
At this point, to wrap it up.
And obviously it's not even a bird's eye view. I've just seen it up close, what's been happening. But I'm very proud of you in terms of how you've navigated everything. It's been a lot. And then we now factor in all of Nigeria and what everything Nigeria has to throw on you. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. Congrats.
Thank you. It reached. Thank you.
For just making things happen and just keeping moving, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's important.
So that's just from me, from the heart, before I even get to the question.
Very millennial coded.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is millennial.
Yeah,
this is
Gen
Gen
Z,
Z, right? Yeah.
This is on. This is what is this one?
So the question. So
Yes.
I'm just gonna get to it now,
Yes.
which is, what is a failure or setback story you're sharing with us today?
Definitely getting this amazing opportunity in my professional career in 2023. I got this chief brand officer position.
Ooh.
That was the pinnacle of success by everyone's definition. That was what we had been. When I say we, there have been people in my life who have been essentially grooming me to get to that position. And
Not grooming in a bad way.
not in a bad way. Professionally grooming me to become the best at what I do. And that was the position that was, I guess, written out when I joined the industry in 2016. It was actually chief brand officer or chief marketing officer. It was that. And so getting that position in 2023, I was, I think, 32. Yes, 32, I think. Yes. I wasn't expecting it to happen at that age. I thought it was going to happen much later, like maybe before I turned 40. And so getting that opportunity was amazing. And to me, I thought, wow, phenomenal. We've gotten here. It's only up from there. And then I lasted 10 months in the role and then it was gone.
Very intense. I remember.
Yes, it was quite an intense experience. And I didn't lose it. And the interesting thing about this is that I didn't lose the position because I was incompetent or because I didn't do my job well, right? But it was because I would say I stood up for myself and I chose financial independence over just working, just doing a job. When you work for an early stage startup, you know that there's going to be ups and downs with finances. But at the end of the day, I'm a professional and I believe in getting paid for my work. So when there was a situation that was presented to me and the situation was, we won't be able to pay you for 3 months, but we want you to work twice as much. I said, absolutely not.
Let's circle back and give a bit more context as to whether you want to name the company or not, but like the field in which the company operated in, what your role was, and what the actual setback or failure was. Let's just hone in on that.
Okay, so I don't want to say the name of the company actually, even though if you know, you know. But the company was in the media and audio space, right? So perfect fit. So when I say the role was perfect, it was perfect. Like worked for me and my personality, my professional career and everything. And the co-founders of the company actually came to me and they said, look, we've been wanting to hire you for a while. We waited for you to come out of TC, Techabal, and, immediately, came to me with that offer. Actually, they waited until my sabbatical was done because after TC, I went on a 3-month sabbatical. So they really came with this offer. This is what we can give you now, but, we're fundraising. And after we fundraise, we're going to bump this up, right? It was very exciting for everyone. You know what I mean? And I vetted. I thought thought I vetted well. Let me just put it that way. Let me also take accountability. I thought I vetted well. I thought I went into it with the right mindset. I was very excited to come into that position, not just as chief brand officer, they also offered co-founder. Very exciting, right? And I was like, I want to do this work. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A month into the job, one of the co-founders resigned.
Yep.
Do you remember I texted Tosin and Iri like, as the person was saying that they were resigning, I was texting you and Iri like, this is happening. And we were shocked because, again, two people came to me with the offer. One person a month later dropped out. And so my role...
Sketchy as...
It was very sketchy. My role changed immediately because that person was in charge of managing the team on site. I was only brought in to support the co-founders, yes, but to focus on branding, storytelling, essentially pushing the startup out into the world.
Yeah.
Letting people know this is why you should pay attention to the startup. Now that this operational person is gone, the other co-founder is like, Kay, you have to step up.
And he's not on ground either.
No, he's not. That's true. The co-founder, the other co-founder was living in the US. Not just working, living in the US. So a fully remote role then turned into you have to go to Yaba.
You have to be all there.
I have to be there. I have to now manage the entire team, not just my marketing team, the whole team. So I had to adapt, which is a thing I do very well and which is something I know you do when you work for a startup. It wasn't an issue, right? Now, the only thing I brought forward was how will I be compensated for now doing two jobs? Because now you've tacked on something and not at a mid-manager level because the other person was co-founder and COO.
Exactly.
So it's also at an executive level. So a conversation was had. Okay, we'll do this, we'll do that. If even the investors got involved, like, yes, you should be compensated. In those 10 months, nothing for guys.
Oh, God.
So you know what? With each month, I felt like I was failing myself. Let's just say that. It actually felt like a personal failure. Like, this is not something that I would tolerate anywhere else. But again, when you are in that environment, you're thinking, you don't want the story to be, this is a real thing in the industry, we hired a female co-founder and she cared more about money than the work. So I said, you know what? Let me not come off as the ethical capitalist that I am. Because I love money. Hello, somebody. No, you're going to pay me for my services. Professional services. Easy. So I found myself battling who I am, which is someone who does not play about her professional life. So I was like, hey, this is not you. With each month that I would bring the conversation up, there were promises that were never met. But at the same time, I loved the team. I loved what we're doing genuinely, and I did good work. But as we crept up to the 9th month, I quickly realized that I wasn't going to get compensated for doing the extra role. And that compensation, the investors had recommended cash and equity. So they had recommended bump up my equity and then just add a little bit of money. It's okay. Nobody's saying it needs to be high, but show the person that, you care about the fact that they are working essentially for free. Once we got to that 9th month, I brought it up again. This time, I wasn't sending Slack messages. I did an email. I said, okay, can we have this conversation by this time?
Exactly.
Because I would like to know my feelings. I was essentially chasing. And I didn't like that.
Yeah,
it really messed me up. I didn't like that at all. And the response to that was basically, it was like an attitude of, why don't you understand that this is how startups work? No, I know how startups work. I know how startups work, but I also know when a startup is facing challenges and people don't want to be honest about the fact that they're facing these financial challenges. Like, startups run out of runway all the time.
Yeah.
It's not new, but you have to be honest about it. And then you call your team together and you say, okay, guys, let's figure it out. If you need to make cuts, you make cuts. It comes with the territory. But what I was experiencing was, don't worry, I will. Knowing that there was nothing that will happen. That's what messed me up.
What would you say the word is around this setback or failure? Like, what were you thinking at that time? Like, how would you describe it?
I think I was feeling embarrassed, actually. I felt like I didn't do a good enough job with vetting and asking the right questions. I felt like, why didn't you ask to see the books? Do you understand what I mean? Because again, but when two co-founders are telling you, we can do this, we can't pay you by this time, you're like, yeah, I'm sold. Because why would they not be honest? it was that trusting vibe of, okay, they've been doing this for a while. They just want you to come in and provide support. Why would I not believe them?
So the emotion here is embarrassment.
I was very embarrassed. As the months just kept like kind of stacking up.
And who are you embarrassed to or like with?
Myself. Like I was embarrassed for myself, and in a way, very good question, I was actually embarrassed for the team as well, the people that were working for the company, because I knew that very soon it was either their salaries were going to get cut or some of them were going to have to leave. I mean, people were they were messaging me, Kay, I can't afford this. By the way, I had to pay for medication for one of the staff members because he couldn't afford it. God. He was sick. He couldn't afford it. Like, he showed me his bank balance. I had to sort him out. I never got that money back.
God.
There were times when I had to pay for fuel for the generator. I never got that money back out of my pocket.
For the company?
Yes. Not part of the JD, by the way.
Lord.
Didn't sign that in the contract, by the way. Yes. So when I say it was embarrassing, it was because I was telling myself, I was like, hey, this is not you. This is not your standard. I've never experienced this in any of the startups I'd worked for. So I was like, this is new territory.
How did it all pan out at the end then? Did they fail before you left, or they failed after you left?
So what actually happened was that my contract was terminated.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get a chance to exit the way I wanted to. And it was done in such a brutal way. Let me actually put it that way. And I think that's why I am highlighting this as my failure story, because my first thought when I got the information was, oh my God, you should have left 6 months ago. I was like, girl, you now stayed. You now did all this work. What do you
think their reasoning was for terminating
the exact words were, you don't want to go through financial hardship with me and the company. Almost making it seem like you only care about money. This is a transactional relationship. My skills in exchange for money. I am going to care about money.
And you're doing the role of two co-founders.
It's
not that you're just taking on the odd job here and there or whatever. It's not, no, you came in as a co-founder, one co-founder left, and you're now taking on two co-founder roles. That's just, and the actual investors agreed with you.
Yes, the investors agreed. They were on my side. And that made me realize that no matter how much stake an investor has in a company, if the founder and the CEO has more, the founder and the CEO has the final say.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like more than 60%. What are the investors going to do except make recommendations? That was all they could do. But they can't force the CEO's hand.
So when your contract was now terminated, what specific emotion or word would you say?
Yeah, I was definitely angry. Honestly,
so now it's moved from
embarrassment to now pure anger, because I'm like, oh, okay. The way the contract was terminated was very embarrassing for me. I felt very embarrassed before I even felt that anger. It happened on the third. We normally synced every Thursday, so I had no idea this was coming. So I'd come prepared for the meeting. As I was going, speaking, he just interrupted me and said, "Kay, I've decided to terminate your contract."
What the what?
That's exactly how it happened.
It was just the two of you.
It was just the two of us. Because of course, the other co-founder had gone, long ago.
Yeah.
I remember saying, sorry, what?
He'd been building up to that for a while.
No prior conversations. Yeah. If it was a case of, okay, Kay, we need to talk about this. Let me be honest with you. This. That never happened. I said, is it a performance issue? No. Then what's the issue? That's when he said, I feel like you don't want to go through financial hardships with me and the company. You didn't hire me to do that. If you had hired me from the jump, I've worked with founders who couldn't afford my full fee, but they said, we will work with you on a fractional basis. This is what I can pay you. What can you give me for this? And I told them exactly what I can give them. We could have had, I'm very flexible. I told him, let's discuss what I can do in this 3 months that you can't pay me. I am not saying I'm not going to work, but you can't expect me to be co-founder and chief brand officer for free. No, that doesn't make any sense. And you are giving me my stake was less than 10%. What are we doing? Increase that stake, then I have a reason to feel valued. But you're not doing that. You're not paying me more money. You want me to come into the office every day from Ikate Elegushi to Yaba. Yeah. Hello! Get down from there. Get down!
God.
Yes. Lord. So I was angry. I remember when he said it. Ira was the first person I texted. I was like, I literally was like, Ire, this is what this guy just said. And she said, send me your contract. And she was looking through it and she was like, okay, yes, it's in the contract that he can terminate at will. And that's why I'm saying I felt embarrassed, because I was like, you did not do a good job at vetting this thing well. And I felt really bad for myself because I said, you trusted. I just trusted. I don't know what it is, but it was because when they approached me, they were, no, you don't understand. They were like, we prayed about this. They made it seem like we've wanted you. Our investors even said, yes, this is a person you hire. You wait as long as you need to wait until she's available, and you pitch her and you get her. So I was like, why would I not trust them?
God.
Yes.
And obviously devastated.
Very.
They didn't last long afterwards, right?
No, I mean, just before I left, we had gotten into an accelerator program, and I left in the middle of it, and that was the last thing I'd heard. All the employees that were there when I was there also left the company. You know what I mean? And I haven't kept, you know me, you know my personality. I don't. I move on quickly. And because of just how brutal the termination was, I also felt, why would I keep in touch with what you guys are doing? You know, I loved the idea of the company.
As did I.
Loved it, but I was like, oh no, I can't be emotionally attached to this anymore.
As did I.
Yes.
Sum it up.
Yes.
What emotions were you experiencing at that time?
Anger, definitely pain for sure, because 10 months is still a lot of time. Embarrassment was very big for me. And I felt like a failure. I'm not going to lie. I felt like a failure. One of my friends came to visit me after it happened, and I literally told him, I said, I feel like a failure. I feel like I finally got to the role that, you know, my boss at Flutterwave was training me for. You know, I told you, he was like, Bozoma St. John, this is the person you are going to be, but for Nigeria, like you're going to be the Nigerian version of her. And she's like top of the game, CMO, Uber, Apple, Beats, like, top, recognized, Hall of Fame, marketing. So it was a beautiful, I think, career path to mirror, you know, and I felt I'd gotten there, and I felt like, I just kept thinking, how did I lose this? So there was a lot of confusion as well, you know, how do I explain to people that I'm no longer CBO?
So what strategies would you say you used to kind of surmount this setback? So
first of all, I mean, I think the termination happened March 2024. Yeah. So the first thing I did was I had to basically talk myself out of that dark place, because I've lost a job now.
Yeah.
So financial life took a major hit. 2024 was my toughest financial year because I was like settled. I thought I was sorted. I was like, I'm down to stay with this company for as long as I need to. More than 4 years. I was like, this is where we stay. So of course I didn't put any plan B or plan C. Another rookie mistake. That's something I'll never do again. I always have a plan B now. So I was just like, oh yeah, trust these guys. I feel like my control issues worsened after I lost that job. I'm not going to lie. So I had to like pull myself out. And obviously I was talking to my friends about it. Thankfully I had, great support system. So everybody was telling me, this is not a personal failure on your part. You know, we learned from this, right? So I had to pull myself out of there. And then immediately I just went back into job hunting. So I, reached out to my connects in my network. I was like, what do you guys have? I'm down to work. And, obviously because of the time I spent in the industry, I did get some contract roles. And, it helped, it paid the bills. It helped me kind of get out of that. But I asked myself, okay, what did you learn from this? And I started to like map out my professional life going forward. And I said, okay, if you get an offer next time, what are you going to do? And I said, okay, you must vet that contract. You must look at the termination clause. You must understand this thing. You must ask questions about their business, their books, revenue, all of that. So I really gave 2024 as a time for me to reset and not internalize it too much. It was very painful. It was very embarrassing. I'm not going to lie, but I had to work my way out of that place.
And who were the support systems at that time?
You, Ire. You, Ire. One of my current clients now, Chikodi, he actually gave me in fact, that's how I started working for Salah. He gave me a contract gig in 2024 that ended up now extending to this year. And a couple of other people in my life, there's Ezra, he works for Enugu State government now. So it was really people in the industry that kind of like padded me up. And you know what else is interesting? I can't name names, but there were also other women who had been hired into similar roles like me. There was already an existing founding team made up of men, and they brought in those women, and they were terminated the same way that I was. So we sort of encouraged each other. Yes. In fact, initially we were thinking about going to Tech About to tell our stories, but again, we all agreed that we didn't want the story to be, we hired women.
Yeah.
Now they are here complaining. Like we knew what the story would be. This is why we don't hire women like at that level, because there's almost like a sort of like toughening that they want to happen. So all experiences were similar, different companies, but very similar.
That is wild.
Yes. So we were able to talk to each other, and these women are doing amazing things now, thankfully, but we were bruised. They even experienced worse. Like they'll get cut out of meetings. Some of them would get taken out of Slack groups randomly, then get added back in. So they would lose conversations. When, the Oga at the top is doing that, it confuses the team because they're like, is she on your level or is she
They're
not?
trying to follow. They're going to follow the lead,
They're going to follow the leader, the one that they know. We were brought in. That's how we were presented. Oh, we've invited you to join our founding team. You are not part of the founding team. So that helped. Talking to other women, it helped a lot. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm just
It was a wild experience.
Yeah,
It was a wild experience.
Goodness. And how would you say that support contributed to your growth?
It helps a lot because when people have encountered your gift, by the way, this includes my former bosses as well, because when I got the role, they were very happy for me. So remember when I lost it, I actually called my boss from Flutterwave and I told him how I was feeling. And he just told me, it was like, that was not for you then. He didn't make me feel bad. He just said, look, you're very good at what you do. You're going to get another opportunity, right? Hearing people validate my gift and my skills helped a lot because it helped me not internalize the fact that it was a competency issue.
Yes.
It wasn't a competency issue. I mean, I'm in my 30s. I am not working for free. I don't have a sugar daddy. Hello? I'm the one paying my bills.
Oh, God.
My father did not my father was a banker. I understand how money works. So I'm like, no, you can't tell me you can't pay me and I should work. Something about that doesn't sound right. Even my father would have knocked my head if he was still alive. Would have been like, Koromone, this is not how I raised you. Would have called me by my name, not Lady K. Would have been like, Bo Koromone, this is not how I raised you. So I really, they were like, there's nothing wrong with you saying that you want to be paid. You should be paid for what you do. So hearing my friends, the people in my professional network tell me, no, you are good at what you do. It's okay. It helped me come out of that dark place. Because I'm not going to lie, when you're in a bad place, you actually need a support system. You can't thug everything out on your own. Yeah, so that helped a lot. Yeah.
You do. And what would you say your 3 key takeaways are for our audience today from this experience?
Number 1, thoroughly read through that contract. Now with the clients I have, if there's something in the contracts I don't agree with, I highlight it. Right? If they say, for example, the non-competes, I find that to be I don't like that. I tell them, you know why you hired me, right? Other people want to hire me for that same reason. If it's a direct competitor, of course, I won't. But you can't tell me, for 12 months, you can't work for stop. Me? I like money. I will work for that client. So vet that contract. And I would say, share with a friend, because the next contract I got from Salad, I shared it with Ari and I was like, let's look through it together. And she told me, okay, I was able to have that conversation with Chikodi, and Nkechi is the COO. And they liked it. They were like, okay, your energy. I'm like, yes, So that second thing I would say is, if you do lose a job and it's not for competency reasons, please try not to internalize it. Try not to beat yourself up too much, because the truth is that when you are unemployed, there's a way people treat you. Treat you like, what's wrong with you? So you're not working.
Yeah.
So you're not going to some office every day. They really treat you. I mean, meanwhile, unemployment rates are high in Nigeria, around the world. So I'm like, why are we shaming people for being unemployed? That's like sometimes when some people are unemployed, you see, they won't call you, they won't text, they won't go out. Do you understand what I mean? Because they know people will ask them. Normally, now when you go out in Lagos, what's the first thing you say? What do you do?
What do you do?
Sometimes I say I'm a dry cleaner, because what kind of question is that? Why am I here? Why are you asking me what I do? Did I tell you I can't pay for my food? What do you do? If you not say you're unemployed, they'll look at you funny.
The other one was like, the old school one was in between jobs.
I'm in between jobs. If I wasn't like that, you can even be like, sometimes you can just say, I'm taking a course right now. Now people are coming up with creative ways, because if they say, I'm not working now, people look at you like, this one can't afford to pay.
Yes.
Stay there.
So then what are you doing?
You know what? The third thing I'll say is, you'll always find your way back, because didn't I find my way back to this audio thing? Didn't I find my way back?
Did.
And do we have time?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
So the final one I want to say is, you will find your way back, especially if you are good at what you do. Because the thing that stood out the most about that company was that it was audio and media. I felt like right there, I've done both, right? So if it was literally like the perfect job. It's like Netflix hiring me to run their audio department or even like their media department or writing room, because it's like this person is a media person. So it was a perfect role, right? If I had let the pain from that experience stay as long as 2 years or 3 years, if I was so angry, I don't think I would find success in what I'm doing now, right? And that success came at a whim. It was unexpected. I posted one story time in December and everything just blew up.
That was all in December.
Just when you think about it, it's just been
That's
3 months.
wild,
like
man.
December, January, February. So like we're going into 4 months.
Like I only just started using TikTok not too long ago, and I don't know why I wasn't following you. Maybe you changed your.
I changed my handle.
You
so
had a
sometimes
new
that happens.
handle.
Yes, yeah.
And then someone just said that lady stuff is like, she's got like a lot of followers, like posting stuff. It's just, I was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It was shocking to me too.
I was just like, what the what?
Yes.
But then watching the content, listening to it, just watching it, I was just like, this makes so much sense.
It makes so much sense. I know.
I was just like, why didn't she do this before?
I know. But we ended up doing it, right?
We
ended up doing it. In fact, I started building TikTok first in 2024, actually. So that's why I'm saying that 2024
You should actually say what you do.
What I do, right? Okay, yes, let me actually say that. So obviously, like professionally, people know me as like a brand person, a PR person, no problem with that at all. But currently in my professional life, I just do strategy and sustainability. I work with founders at a very high level. But professionally as well, I'm a storyteller, right? And I tell entertaining stories, but I also tell spicy stories. Yeah. Entertaining with a spicy twist, okay?
What kind of spicy stories?
So spicy. Am I allowed to?
No, okay. Say what you say.
Because I don't know now. For the audience to be like, Tosin.
Just know it is what it is.
Okay, yes. So I mean, my genre is romance, but it's sex. Like there's smut. It's sex. You're not going to not encounter sex, but it's romance. But I need to make it clear that like I'm working on a romance novel. Yeah. There's character development and all of that, but there is sex, right? So I always say in my stories or my videos, if you're squeamish about sex, I'm not the person to listen to, right? Now in 2024, when I started building my TikTok platform, I started this series called Kinky Talk, where I would take something out of the kink community and I would break it down for my audience, but I would make it relatable. And then I would center myself in the story, which I think appealed to people. So I wasn't bringing a third-party experience. So because, I mean, I studied English and creative writing. So I learned a lot of storytelling techniques, right?
She really paints. She paints it.
You know, and one of the tips my writing professor gave me was, go straight to the point. Don't lead your readers on. From the first line, begin. That's what you would say. Just begin. So I knew that, okay, if I'm going to talk about this thing, I can't beat around the bush. I must go right into it. No pun intended. You know what I mean? And then I found that with the creators that did really well on TikTok, because I did my assignments, right? I did my homework and research. The ones that people love the most and they followed their journey all the way to even when they achieved high success were the ones that felt relatable. Not the ones that sat in a studio or anything. Like they want to see you that bonnet.
Exactly. And that's what I've learned with my content for Africa on Monday. Yeah. It's just like you can't have clips of Africa on Monday on Instagram, TikTok or whatever with me in the studio doing the stuff. No. The actual traction.
It dips, yes.
It dips. It's you just getting on it.
They want to feel like you are a real person.
Exactly.
The moment it feels super polished, it's not they won't engage, but if you're going to be talking about romance, dating, sex, you have to be personal. They don't want you to, don't BS me, like keep it a buck with me, right? So I found that when I centered myself in a lot of my stories, the engagement was high. So through Kinky Talk, my page started to grow. Then I started doing the construction stuff as well.
Goodness.
I had a crisis of faith in 2023.
Yeah, you did.
I had a crisis of faith in 2023 and I started deconstructing. So I was doing deconstruction content on TikTok. I was doing the Kinky Talk. I was doing a segment called For the Girls where I would give relatable advice to girls in their 20s or even in their 30s, right? So that's how my platform started to grow. We got into 2025 and then I started to do more story times, not just Kinky Talk, just story times. And I just saw it was growing and growing and growing. Now, Instagram was just personal. It was max, I think before my page blew up, 30 people. And I knew everybody. I knew everybody.
It was super small.
It was small. It was just, let me post my fine video, dancing, pictures. Hey. You know?
And now it's a beast.
December 2025, I'll never forget, December 26th, I'd booked 3 days at 16 by 16, one of my favorite boutique hotels in Lagos. And I had recorded a story time the next morning, and it was about a younger guy who had approached me a few years ago, right? But it was a short story, and it was intentionally short. What drew people into that story was the way in which I talked about the boy, how he approached me with a lot of confidence. Posted it on TikTok just in the morning, came back 2 hours later. My account had grown by 10K.
Yeah, wow.
From that story. And the comment section had young boys so excited. They were like, yeah, we
Please,
love
they're all over 18, no?
Yeah,
please.
no, please, hey! All over 18, no? But they loved it. And then the older women as well were commenting about their own experiences with dating younger guys and younger guys hitting on them. Now, in the video, I had said, maybe I would write about the entire experience because the guy had given me consent to talk about it. Everyone in the comment section, you must write it. You must write it, K. I started a Substack. The Substack, again, was at max 50 subscribers at the time that story dropped, right? So my friend said, post it on Instagram too. That was when my Instagram blew up.
That's when it blew up. Wow.
That was when I posted that video, story time on Instagram. The next day, I'd grown by 1,000. So it was a massive growth. Don't get me wrong, but it almost felt like 1,000, whatever, right? Same thing in the comment section. Write the story. You want to read it? So I was like, all right. I said, okay, let me write. So I wrote the first part. Substack just again overnight. Substack blew up to like 2,000 subscribers overnight.
God.
Like
I don't know how these things just happen.
Honestly, but it validated what I think everyone had always known about me. You can tell a damn good story.
Exactly.
You can tell a damn good story.
See the journey.
Right? Whether it's audio only, video, or writing. Because that Substack, the way the Substack grew was ridiculous, right? I wrote the 3 parts of that experience with this younger guy over the course of 5 days.
Oh, wow.
That was when I knew. I said, you're supposed to do this thing,
And you're like really on it now.
I mean, now I'm, my friends were like, press the gas. They were like, accelerate this thing. They told me, they said, don't slow down.
I checked. I was like, you have Don Jazzy following
I mean,
you.
I was so proud. I was like, excuse me.
Following you now. I was like,
when Zizi Mills started following me, I was like, ah!
I was like, what happened? That's why I just looked. Because I just casually looked. I didn't know anything. I was like, what the hell? That was how it was. I remember when Ira was like, what's going on with Instagram? I said, Ira, I don't know. I'm scared. I was like, for a while, I couldn't open Instagram. And then my thought was, okay, I didn't know what the strategy was. I was just like,
what's going on?
Talk on sex.
Yeah.
And then you have all of these followers. What are you doing with this, right? And then hearing from you in terms of like what you're actually planning and going towards, and like, this is it. So it was sense in the world. It
was having hundreds of people tell me, write this thing. Like, we like the story that we're hearing, but if you write about it, we'll read it. So writing the 3 parts. So I titled it Shade and Jabari. So Shade is the older woman, Jabari is a younger guy. Seeing how people responded to just the 3 parts, I said, okay, this is the book I'm gonna write. This is gonna be my first book.
There we go.
Right? So this is gonna be my first book. It's gonna be an age gap romance story that features Black and African characters, right? Because I felt like we're not represented.
Exactly.
And you can tell from the way people received my videos at first. It was quite like, I get DMs, oh my God, I can't believe an African. They always say that. An African woman talking about sex so openly. I'm like, oh guys, they always emphasize that because they know it's not in our culture for women to talk about sex. And you know me, when I talk about something, I don't get no shame. Oh,
you really have found the lane where nobody's really there.
No, Tosin, that's another thing I'm very good at. Once I find that niche and I know that I'm the only one that can be in this niche for now, I go inside it. Because that's what happened when I started working at Flutterwave. Storytelling was not really a thing. Right? And when I was hired, Benga actually told me, I hired you because you studied creative writing. He just didn't want a PR person. He wanted someone that could tell a story. So that was how we created that storytelling, brand storytelling thing. It actually started with Flutterwave, right? Because that's how the brand came out. It was like young and, I used GIFs on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, no, we're cool, right? And people were like, I want to work for this company because of the way the brand was presented, right? So that was the niche. And then eventually, of course, it grew, and then now they're brand storytellers. Great, no problem. Great. But I knew that romance sex were two things that women didn't talk about openly. And so as a result of that, women didn't really understand a lot about their bodies and kinks and BDSM. So I said, I'm going to hit this market. But I knew I wasn't going to hit just African women. I knew I was going to hit Black women in the US as well. Because once my content entered US Instagram, they carried it.
Yeah,
it was the role-playing video story time that I did that took me into the American audience.
Wow. Well, God knows where this is going.
Honestly, I know where. Apart from the book, I mean, Netflix has this show, Sex Education, right? It's based in a high school, but the adults, that's like proper sex education because
you need to speak to people like Muyiwa and
I
stuff
know,
like
don't worry, I go find out.
Yeah.
my dream is to script something, but the way I see sex presented in like Nigerian movies and shows, I can tell that you didn't consult someone who understands like kinks and things like that, because I remember there was this show, was it Blood Sisters? One of their I can't remember which one it was. One of their Folayan brothers, Shah, him and his wife in the show were presented as like sex obsessed. So every time they would come on screen, it was like they were having toxic sex. And I remember people would tweet about, what's wrong with these ones now? But I was like, no, they're just adventurous. This is kink play. This is what kink play looks like. But it wasn't presented well. It was most presented like it was toxic, but it was not. They were exploring a specific dynamic. So in addition to the book, yes, I want to script. I want to be in a writing room where someone says, okay, we want a Black character that is not hyper-sexualized. Sex positive, yes. She understands herself. There's no relationship trauma. You see, I don't talk about relationships. I've gotten DMs. Please, my boyfriend. Hey, go back to that one.
Yeah.
Leave me out of your relationship. I'm like, no. We keep it about the spicy action, right? So I want to write, my dream is like, these networks would call and say, we want you to consult. We want you to write audio dramas. Like, I did Love and Shege, with the company now. So that's what I like to do. I'll script, I'll voice. But the book, I think, is the first time I've said to myself, you can do this. And there is an audience that will read it. Yeah.
Just keep pushing.
Yeah, of course. I'm writing, I think I'm like 20K in. Yeah, not bad.
You don't try.
I've tried, though.
You tried.
I've tried. But I would say that I am in a great place now. I feel like I'm balanced all around. Yes.
You are.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take it on to the rapid fire questions.
Oh, yes, let's do it.
So first one, oh goodness. What's one book you'd recommend? One
book I'd recommend
to anyone.
You know what? I would recommend...
I said, oh God, because you study creative writing.
Yes. So it's quite difficult to choose.
Person, yeah.
But no, I would actually recommend Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola.
Why?
Because she actually inspired me to also focus on Black romance, because she's a romance writer and she focuses on Black and African characters. And that book specifically deals with young love. It's like a coming of age, but I think they're in college. She's like UK based, so college in the UK. But the way in which it was written, it's very romantic, it's very lovely, and the characters are real, but romance is at the center of it. So I'd recommend that. It's a nice read, but very good. Yeah, very good writing.
What's a quote that you live by, if any at all?
The pressure is getting worse.
The pressure is getting worse.
Yeah, worse.
Explain, elaborate.
It's definitely an internet meme. I'm chronically online, but it was a Ghanaian person that said it, I believe. That's why it's like worse. I
was just confused when you said worse as well. I can't be correcting your English.
It's much worse, but yes, it's just getting worse. So I always use that line anytime, like I feel like so for example, every time I go back on my Instagram and I see that the numbers are increasing, I'll say to myself, the pressure is getting worse. But that pressure motivates me to keep going and to keep doing, right? Yeah, so it's a good kind of pressure, but it's getting worse. Yeah. Yes.
And who inspires you regularly?
Oh, regularly. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay.
You have to really think about that.
I do have to think about that because you know what? I think her name is, I want to say her name is Annie. The girl that does the chicken shop date.
Oh.
I think her name is Annie.
The awkward interviews. Yeah.
She just did the Oscars red carpet.
She did?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow. From the chicken shop.
Yes, exactly.
That's amazing.
Exactly. And chicken shop started with her, like literally just in a chicken shop before she even started bringing on the celebrities and as she grew. But I'm inspired by her. She actually studied at University of the Arts, London. She did fashion journalism. And I got into UAL. The whole story about why I couldn't go. Yeah. You know what? This is not about what this is about, right? But somebody had asked her, somebody has said in her comment section, I want to get to where you are, right? Under her video of interviewing a celebrity. And the person asked her, what did you do to get here? And she responded and said, I studied this, I started doing chicken shop, then eventually grew, and that this is where I am. And she said, even when you're in school, no matter what you're doing, do the thing that you like to do. You never know where it will take you. I took a screenshot of it. I sent it to my friends who helped me with content stuff. And I was like, this is it. Like, let's be clear. These are the gigs that I want in a couple of years. Like, this is where we should be grooming me to go to. We can host a red carpet. It doesn't matter what I talk about. It's about the personality. It's about them trusting you to speak to celebrities. I'm educated. I've been doing public speaking for a very long time. I'm a journalist. So I have everything. It's just about being prepared when the opportunity comes. I'm believing that, yes, exactly, that it will come.
It will come.
Yeah.
It will come.
Yeah.
And what's the one skill you believe every person should have?
Please know how to communicate. Please.
Of course, communicate.
You don't need to be great at it, but if you can actually express yourself at a base level, trust me, it will clear up a lot of confusion. Please learn how to communicate.
Yeah, that's key.
Please.
If you weren't in your current profession, that's a different one. That's not really a question for you, because you're working towards your vocation, right?
Yes.
And then you also have contracting stuff that you do, and also, so I think.
But if if I wasn't doing any of these things,
yeah,
what
would
else
you be doing? Yeah,
I think I'll be rapping. I'll be a rapper.
What?
I'll be a rapper.
Producer
Is that short black babe from Bayelsa States? I'll be a rapper.
Can you give us a line?
Yeah. Should I do? Should I do like 30 seconds?
Go on.
Is that short black babe from Bayelsa State, citizen of the dirty South? Hear me when I say Ijo babes no they play. That means we don't do too much. No long talk. The pedigree is verbose enough. Menacing to society. Take an Ijo girl out of the creek any day of any week. She'll still eat with her Niger Delta mystique. Let me just stop there. Let me stop there. Don Jazzy, call me. Thank you. Let me rap. I'll be a rapper.
He's Don Jazzy again.
He needs another one. Arasta is holding her own. He needs another one, please. And Don Jazzy loves poetry. Yeah, come on.
He follows you.
He does. And I sent him you know what's interesting? Before he actually followed me, I sent Don Jazzy my poetry EP from last year. I just DM'd him. So I'm like, look at that.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Oh, good.
My artist name is Lady Poetry. I'll be rapping, Yeah.
When you said rapping, I clocked on. I was like, you are a creative
I
writer.
do,
so it does,
so poetry. But I've always said poetry.
Rapping is poetry.
It is poetry. I've been rapping poetry now, yeah.
People forget that. So you are a rapper. On
stage. I would love to tour and do all of that, tour with Drake. I have dreams like that. I'm like, Drake would call me one day and be like, come on, let's go on
Even
tour.
This present day Drake?
Yes. What's wrong? I'm a big Drake fan, okay?
Yes. You said me cancelled now.
No. Uncancel him immediately.
What's one thing you've learned about yourself in the past year?
In the past year, I didn't know this until recently, but I'm very, very hard on myself. I'm very, very hard on myself. And I've really been working on my control issues, like allowing myself to just experience things without needing to explain it, So I've been beating myself up recently for, going back to church and reconnecting. Yeah. And I'm like, why are you so angry at yourself about this? So it was because I'm like, but you said you were never going to. And I'm like, how is this a thing that you're beating yourself up? I'm
still shocked. We talked off screen about this.
Yes.
That
earlier. One requires, I feel like we may need to do a separate.
That's a whole other podcast.
A whole separate conversation.
Can we say basically
yes. So I had a crisis of faith in 2023, and then I visited this church in January, Logic Church, and I had this very intense internal experience where I felt like somebody had come with a hammer and gently tapped my wall, and a crack just appeared. And I was very aware that a crack had appeared, and I'd been spending weeks trying to repair. But every time I went, again, boop, and the crack just kept spreading and spreading until finally the walls broke.
And what do you think that wall represented?
My trust issues. Trusting God again, trusting people again. Yes. Yeah.
So it means from that, it's like you're ready to kind of potentially trust again, God and trust people.
Yes. And that's very, very, very scary. That's why I said I've been very hard on myself for wanting to trust. But that's because the mistrust and the unbelief had protected me. And somebody, was preaching hard enough that I looked at myself and I said, why are you letting your unbelief protect you? What is it protecting you from?
And she was,
it was
I'm not
deep.
going to say the word religious, but
Yeah,
you were really into the Lord.
I was inside it.
Yeah. So for you to tell me that you were no longer there, I was like, what the hell's going on? And now this is happening. I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
It is. And that's the thing. I think everyone who knows me is very happy that I am reconnecting. I am the only one that has been beating myself.
For me, the key issue there is trust, like you said. That's
trust.
the thing. So
no,
I'm very happy to hear that.
Me too.
Yeah, what's one habit you're trying to build and another you're trying to break?
One habit I'm trying to build is actually going on short walks every morning at 6:30 a.m.
You're already crazy with the morning stuff.
But
anyway.
yeah, I know. But lately, I've also been telling myself it's okay to have a lie-in.
Yeah,
but now I don't know what's happening. But that disciplined part of me is like coming back. So I want to do it every morning. So short, just 20 minutes. Normally I do an hour, but I'm like, no, girl, 20 minutes. And the whole point of it is like, just get out of your house and then come back in. So I'm trying to rebuild that habit.
And the one you're trying to break?
The one I'm trying to break is actually, somebody called me out on this yesterday, but the person was like, you need to get out more. Like I'm social, but I'm social within my control. So he was like, you need to break this habit of just being by yourself and only coming out when you want to come out. Come out when people want you to come out. When they want to see you say yes to that invitation. So I'm working on that as well.
That is hard to do.
I think it's very hard.
If you could have dinner with anyone, a historical figure, dead or alive, who would that be?
Historical figure, dead or alive. When you say historical, as in?
It could be anyone. If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would that be?
I'm not going to lie, Michael B. Jordan.
Why are you saying it that way as well? It's like,
he just won an Oscar, I'm not gonna lie.
But why are you saying I'm not gonna lie and then you're kind of like pursing your lips as well as you're saying?
Because I know, because...
Is he still single? He is,
he is. Yeah. Lori Harvey, you fumbled. I'm only giving you grace because you are younger than him. But he's at the, I would say he's at the height of his success by winning this Oscar, right? But of course, if you followed his journey,
man. I've watched him since The Wire.
Station was unbelievable, right? So
around,
if he was even
man.
in The Wire,
yeah.
But winning this Oscar, I feel like, especially as like a black man, it's just going to like really.
He's one of like 4 or 3 people.
Exactly. So I feel like
actor.
when you are in such a profession as acting, when there are a lot of good actors and you manage as a black person to win an award like that, you are clear. So I would love to sit with him and just talk to him like, how did you feel, especially after what happened at the BAFTAs,
God.
with the Tourette's thing, just to ask him, how did you feel? How were you able to like get your mind right to now come into this award show and possibly lose? You don't even know if you're gonna win or not. So it's just to have a chat with him.
I really like him and respect him also,
a lot. Yeah.
Because he mentioned in the Oscars like his dad is in Ghana.
Yes.
At the moment, he's still like actually has a connect with Africa as well. So he's not one of those that's just
let's keep it at a distance.
No, he's really he embraces African roots as well. So I'm just very happy for that dude.
Me too.
Very, very
Michael, come to Africa for Dirty December. Accra and Lagos. Quickly.
You can just come to Lagos, bro. It's fine.
Let him go to Ghana now.
Oh yeah, his dad's there.
Yeah, exactly. Come. Dirty December.
What does success mean to you?
Success means getting better at what I do very well. I think that if you succeed at the thing that you do well, regardless of whether somebody sees it as a success or not, it is a success. Do you understand what I mean? So let me give you an example, right?
Yeah.
I have a spicy podcast.
Yeah.
The spicy podcast came from my listeners on Instagram telling me that they wanted to listen to me anytime. Not just somebody actually DM'd me and said, I want to fall asleep to your voice.
What?
Hey! They love this voice. They love this voice. This voice, I call it my money maker. And as you are listening to it, you'll be feeling it. Okay. That podcast, we started it January. In January of this year. And I use my phone to record. I use my phone to record. I use Canva to edit. That's it. Yeah, I just do it in my house on my phone. My voice memo app. I swear.
Wow.
I swear. That podcast now has 4,000 listeners.
Wow.
And over 70K like streams and downloads total.
Bloody hell, man.
Yes, there's one episode in particular that has like over 6,000. People love that episode. Now, that is success to me, even though like I don't do it in a professional studio. No paid media, no nothing. I just said the podcast is ready.
That's amazing.
And people found it, you know. Anytime like I talk about the podcast, someone's in the comment like, what podcast? Sometimes my followers will be like, sometimes they'll take a screenshot of it with the episode they are listening to.
You're definitely building an audience.
I mean, I'm so happy because they are committed and connected to the stories. They know my characters as well. Like if I mention a new character, they'll be like, what about this one? And I'm like, calm down. Oh, yeah.
No, this is amazing.
Yeah, so that is success to me. The fact that I could start a podcast in my house, you know, and it can grow like that without me necessarily overdoing the PR for it, that is success to me. Yeah. That's so amazing. If you're good at something and you are getting better at it, now if you put me in a studio, will it sound better? Yes, of course. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm great at storytelling regardless, right? So yeah, that's success to me.
And on that note, it's a wrap.
This was so fun. Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to do it.
This was a great conversation.
Thank you for listening to Growth Through Failure, where we overcome failure one story at a time. Enjoy the episode, then like, subscribe, and share with your circle. Remember, failure is a stepping stone to success. So stay resilient, stay curious, and embrace the power of failure.